I'm pretty sure that's what they told me was my conscience. Oh, Jesus.
This has been enlightening.
The cinnamon on that, though.
But yes, there is that. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Rex, we're gonna need a... What are you doing there?
Dude, I am gonna kill you.
Welcome to the Whiskey Tribe. We're gonna do this episode of Whiskey Curious with our good friend Earl, who is decidedly a bourbon guy.
Yeah.
We'll figure out why, and we'll try and fix him. Rule number one in the Whiskey Tribe: the best whiskey is whiskey you like to drink the way you like to drink it. So you're gonna walk Earl through, what do we get?
Three categories.
Three categories.
Generically, and I'm not gonna tell you anything about them as a single whiskey. Generically, we're gonna be working with rye whiskey, Irish whiskey, and peated malt whiskey.
Oh, so is there even bourbon up here?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so expanding the horizons a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna do your Psalm thing. Earl, you're gonna choose your favorites across these categories, and then you're gonna walk me through the favorites later. Are you ready for a whiskey breakfast?
I'm ready for whiskey breakfast.
What we've got first, and I'm gonna give you this, these three right here are Irish whiskeys. That's all I'm gonna tell you about them, and I'm gonna talk about some of the generic things that you might find in an Irish whiskey. So these could be grain spirit, these could be pot still, these could be a single malt, they could be a blend of those things. Try them in any order you like, go back and forth between them, because an A-B comparison is often one of the best ways to find new things and how things are different. And talk me through what you think you're smelling and what you think you're tasting as you do that.
All right.
Remember that as you smell things, you want to keep your mouth open and breathe in through your nose and mouth at the same time, because we're talking high proof alcohol. And then you want to pull away and let your brain think about it for a second and then bring it back. First impressions, what are you smelling?
Butteriness, sweetness. It's very inviting, but it's also, my brain said the word buzzy.
Ooh, like effervescent?
Yes.
Yeah,
Buzzy.
okay.
And it was a fine buzzy, not a rough buzzy.
Okay, so like a really nice carbonation.
Yes.
Not like aggressive where it burns your nose kind of carbonation.
A delicate bubble.
You're not in this part, Rex.
Bubble, yeah.
You're not in this part.
I'm helping.
This is my part.
You don't know how to do it.
Sipping the coffee now.
Yes, yes.
I like this very much.
Okay, so how does it, what is the feel of it? So forget flavors, just feel.
So the feel of it is best described as what it wasn't.
Okay.
It did not impact me or distract me.
Oh, okay, so it just sort of rolled down and glided
Rolled
down.
down and glided down.
Go back and smell it one more time for me. Did anything change in the smell after taking a sip?
I smelled the butteriness less,
Okay.
but the buzziness was still present.
Okay. That's a combination of retronasal, which is the smells coming from your throat and evaporating up into your sinuses, mixed with the glass. So that means it tamped down what would likely be the malt or pot still part of that spirit, but the grain still stood up strong.
So, you know stuff.
I Googled it. So ask your brain two questions. One, what's the same? And then two, what's different about this one?
There's no buzzy. There was a rush into my nasal passage.
Okay.
And there was an immediate roughness, like peaty.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like an earthy, like actual smoke, or just like an earth tone?
I would say earth tone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Try a sip of that.
Earth tone. This is different. It's
Is that putting it nicely? Or
yeah,
are you trying not to be rude here?
It was just different by comparison. The first was just smooth and pleasant, and I could remain engaged in whatever my focus is. This one caught my attention a bit, and I felt my face wince just
like,
a little bit because of the
got a little bite.
Yeah, got
All
a
right.
little bite to it. Yeah.
All right, let's try the third one in the Irish category. And then without knowing what's what, I'm gonna have you pick which one you preferred. Okay. So what did that? Okay. What gave that reaction?
The smell of it versus the taste of it were so distinct.
So what was the smell?
The smell was nearer to the first.
Okay.
It was almost neutral, but the taste, when it hit the back of my tongue, it was constricted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like a woody, tanniny, dry note?
Tannin is a good use of term. Yeah.
So smell that again and tell me if you smell a slight honeydew melon.
The word that came to my mind was fruity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More so than the first one?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Now, of these three, what was your favorite?
The first.
Okay. Let's set that right here.
All right.
And let's move on to category B, which is a category of rye whiskey.
The word that flashed in my mind was paint.
No, go with that. So, do you think it's just the ethanol, like spray paint, or like opening a can of
No, I saw paint
fresh
on
paint?
the wall, painting,
Nice.
fresh.
Okay.
Yes, and a little bit of crayon.
Okay, so wax.
Wax.
I know exactly
Good.
what you're talking about.
Good,
Yeah.
Yes.
You eat a lot of crowns growing up?
Some experience. Now that was interesting. In contrast to a previous
Right.
tasting, there was no front impact.
Okay, so it just sort of glided in.
Just glided in.
What flavors did you get? Do you think you tasted in that?
I tasted a little bit of the buttery.
Okay, still the buttery note.
still the
Okay,
butter, yeah.
so that's probably coming with the interaction between the wood and the spirit. All right, let's try this one. I like these tasting. This one is fun. What are you smelling?
Toffee,
Okay.
candy, buttery, Werther's.
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 Nice. So the
Yeah.
butterscotch.
Yeah.
All right, try a sip of that.
All of the flavor was on the front.
Okay.
It's on the front of my tongue. I got
And what were the
buzziness. Werther's pops up. Butterscotch pops up. Candy was a big word.
So like hard candy?
Like hard
All
candy.
these hard candies you're naming?
Hard
Yeah, okay.
candies. But then as it went back, it was smooth.
Okay. Smooth.
Smooth.
All right, try that one. How is it different?
It's a mixture. I saw paint and candy.
Oh, okay. The halfway point.
The halfway point.
You're not getting any of the typical traditional rye notes, which I kind of like.
Sorry. Yeah.
Nope.
That was greatly horrible.
How so?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, I imagine myself sitting in a meeting of sophisticated peoples, and suddenly we all sip, and I'm the one that's
Can't handle this shit.
Yeah, it was on the front of my tongue. Again, I'll go with the black licorice.
Okay.
Slightly smoky peaty,
Oh, interesting.
but on the back of my tongue, harsh constriction.
Whew. Okay, so your favorite, I feel like we can safely say the second one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just emotionally prepare you.
Okay.
We're going into peated malt. So these are gonna be all barley.
Yeah.
May or may not be from Scotland,
Yeah.
but they will be smoky at some level or to some degree. All right, what are you smelling this one?
Mild but insistent.
Oh, I like that. You might, in some of these, you might get what some people describe as like almost a saltwater note, like a brine to the nose.
Brine is
right?
good. Yes, it's like a soft but insistent voice that wants to be heard.
So it's needy. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
It's needy.
Okay, take a sip of that. Tell me what you think. I think I've heard that voice. I think I'm pretty sure that's what they told me was my conscience. Oh, Jesus. You all right there? Maybe that was too big of a sip.
Wow.
You all right there?
So never measure the fight by size.
What are we doing? We're jacking you into Skillshare. online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes. You're supposed to start with the basics. Photography, yoga, cocktail mixing. Super basic stuff, dude. What do you say we start with something a little bit more fun? Mooching.
Mooching? I'm going to learn. Mooching. Holy Skillshare.
I think he likes it. Saddle up. This baby is less than $10 a month with an annual subscription and is ad-free.
Give me everything you got. I know Mooch Fu.
What class do you like best?
Merch design with Aaron Draplin. I learned a lot of good stuff for the new items in our merch store.
Did you just mooch a plug for your own merch in the middle of a sponsorship?
He's beginning to believe.
Give a gift that means more this holiday season with Skillshare's online classes. The first 1,000 MBs to click the link in the description will get a free premium membership trial.
I will grant that was a powerful experience. That quite actually took away not my breath, but my ability to breathe. And so now my throat feels assaulted. This is what I would drink if I was in a place that I knew no one would ever know that I was there. I wouldn't drink this if I were angry, because it would exacerbate everything. I would be angry at the very experience of drinking it.
I'm a little nervous about pouring you the next two.
Well, you know what?
You got some
There we
water?
go.
Now, what do you smell in this one?
I smell the buttery.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's gentle.
How about
it's
some of these
inviting.
mid-palate, like brown sugar, molasses sweetness?
Molasses?
Yeah, okay.
Yes. In fact, I would replace buttery with molasses.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. Quite the flip.
Really?
Everything was on the front of the tongue, actually on the tip of my tongue.
Okay.
Then as I swallowed, it was smooth, it was light, it was almost ethereal.
That's amazing. Okay, when I unveil what these are, it's gonna blow your mind. Okay, then let's move to this one real quick.
I smell little of nothing.
Oh. All right, well, take a sip of that one because I have a feeling it'll be recognizable after the fact.
Of them all, in terms of the increase, this would take the nearest back to the beginning.
Okay, so is that your favorite of the lineup?
In terms of what
Of those
doesn't
three?
kill me?
Yeah,
Sure.
It makes you stronger, evidently.
Yes.
Okay, so let's hold that one right there. I'm gonna take these away.
Set me up.
That's B, that's C,
Send
and that's A.
Or Earl, you chose your favorite three.
Yes.
I'm very curious. Walk me through what you liked about that Irish, which is going to be that first one.
All right.
Why did you choose this one out of the three?
We all have the reason why we drink whatever we drink. And my reason for drinking is either the company that I'm in front of and because I want to have an experience. And for me, it must be relaxing. No matter where I am, public or private, I can be relaxed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice and fruity and lovely. Daniel, what is the Irish that is Earl's favorite here? Powers.
Powers.
This. Right.
Until recently, Powers was a reasonably accessible, but actually not reasonably accessible, hard to get and a little more expensive Irish whiskey. These days, it's a lot easier to get, and for some reason, the price has gone up slightly.
Have you heard of Powers?
I have not, but it's most appropriate that it's called Powers because I'm super and power. So there.
How is this comparing to your go-to, your
But
bourbon?
you know, I was prepared to just be contrary just because.
Okay.
And just stick with my bourbon. But I will tell you that this is complimentary. I could choose either or.
All right, Earl. Now, the rye that you chose, what was it about this one that stood out amongst the three other ryes?
Immediately, the scent of it was inviting. It was comfortable. It was candy.
I get a super sweet, almost like a desserty baked bread.
Yes.
There's baking spices that
yes.
a lot of people don't like rye that has too much herbal, too much spiciness, and this feels a little bit more rich and molassesy even. Wow, the cinnamon on that though.
But yes, there is that.
Is it getting you?
There is the back of the throat saying, "What the?"
What is this whiskey, Daniel?
Angel's Envy.
Yeah, it's a very popular brand.
Yes, it is a rye whiskey finished. Wait. This whiskey brought to you by the cellars of the Henderson family is a rye whiskey finished in rum casks.
All right, let's move on to the final category.
Peated whiskey.
The peated malt that you chose right here. Walk us through that. Is it because you actually found something you enjoyed about it, or was it because it was the least offensive of the category you're really not a fan of?
I will say that it starts there. The smell of it was immediately earthy, peaty. So my expectation in the taste of it would have been rather rough and rugged. I still experienced the peaty earthiness of it, but it was not abrasive or scorching.
There's like a level of refinement there.
Refinement, excellent
It's like it
word.
shipped off the rough edges of those flavors. You're prepared to get tossed around a little bit.
Yes.
Kind of a little bit of a fake out.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of takes you home. Is this at least comparable to your enjoyment of rye, or is it still bottom of the list?
This has been enlightening. And what I will now do is I will add something scotchy.
Oh! All right, so this is from the artist that is John Glazier, the blender of Compass Box blended malts. And this is Flaming Heart, which is a blend of Highland malts that they had sourced. Some of their what they used to make Spice Tree, which is another one of their blends. Then Kleinleash, Deanston, and Cooligla. And so there are half dozen distilleries involved in this blend, but it was crafted specifically for the flavor profile you just got.
There's this idea by a lot of whiskey lovers even that blends are inferior, but this is a top shelf example of how a blend, if done well, can be exceptional. Compass Box has been killing it in that they specialize in blends.
Before Earl walks out the door, we should reward him.
With the bourbon?
I'm gonna get him a bourbon.
This too shall be going with me.
No,
So,
all right, fine.
You didn't see that.
If I can get you to publicly confirm that you are in fact on Team Mooch.
I am in fact on Team Mooch.
Damn it!
That's yours then.
How come no one we ever invite ends up on Team Song?
Because Team Mooch gets free whiskey.
There's that.
I'm just gonna pour him one of our Eleanors. Cask strength. This is what you normally drink when you come hang out with us on Fridays. And Earl, this is for you.
Thank you very much.
A third of a bottle.
Yeah.
Your professional gig isn't necessarily whiskey mooch.
It is not.
What do you do and where can people find more?
I am the CEO of the Grey Owl Company. We are called into the room to listen, to understand, to interpret. Yeah.
Earl, thank you so much. Cheers to you, sir.
Wait,
I'm 40, by the way.
Cheers.
You're 40.
Yeah, I just turned 40 yesterday.
Congratulations.
I look amazing, though,
You
right?
don't look a
You
day
do
over
look
73.
amazing. Not a day over over
Damn it!
40.
You watched to the end of the video. Nice. All right, here's the deal. This weekend only, a little bit of a Black Friday deal. You go shop for merch on thewhiskeytribe.com and you put in the promo code, the discount code WTNEAT20. It's linked in the description below. You get 20% off anything in stock in the store. Cheers, y'all.